Okay. So the first job I got when I got to Cannes was being a Russian cosmonaut, like literally dressing up in a Russian cosmonaut outfit, marching up and down La Croisette, which is the main street in Cannes, virally promoting this Russian film with a giant 20-foot banner, which was by far probably the most obnoxious thing I've ever done in my life, because here are these people trying to make their daily walks, and here I am with a 20-foot banner literally blocking everywhere they're going. But, I mean, dressing up in a costume like that, I don't know, you got people's attention, and little kids would look at you and kind of admire you, and you just got to get away with a lot more shit than if you were just walking around in a suit and tie. So, me and my friend, we had these suits. There were two of us that agreed to do this ridiculous job. And we had these suits at our disposal. So it's the first week there, and all of a sudden people start talking about the first party that we're all going to be invited to at the American Pavilion. And it's the queer party thrown by John Cameron Mitchell. And people started talking about that, and I couldn't believe... I mean, John Cameron Mitchell, he's someone that I've seen short bus and really, just from one film that I've seen, admire this director and everything he can achieve. And all of a sudden I find out that he's going to be throwing a party at the place that I'm having an internship at. Then I find out he's going to be the DJ. And so it's just like, it's called the queer party. Like, we got to go all out. We're in the fucking south of France on the Riviera. And so we're going to take these French cosmonaut or Russian cosmonaut outfits to the queer party. And it was a little nerve-wracking because we were talking to the girls who were our supervisors there. And we asked them what they thought about the idea. And they were trying to promote the film as much as possible. So at first they really loved it. But then they realized that the suits cost $3,000 a piece. And if you're at a party in Cannes, there's going to be wine, and there's going to be alcohol, and there's going to be people spilling it on you. So we can't get anything on these suits, or else there goes another $3,000. So unpaid internship, by the way. So anyway, we get the suits together, and it's getting nerve-wracking, like, are we really going to do this? Is this going to be too obnoxious? Are we going to be the guys that, like, show up to the party and the astronaut outfits, and people are just going to want to chill? Like, I don't know. I didn't want to be that guy. So we decided to test the waters a little bit, and we get there at 8 or 9, and everyone's drinking, having a good time, and word starts to spread that we're thinking about doing this. And people keep edging us on, and we're like, okay, we'll walk into the party as astronauts at midnight. So that's our time. And of course, with the drinks flowing, time goes by a lot faster than you would imagine. And all of a sudden, it's 11:55, and it's time for us to go get dressed. So I was really nervous to go up to John Cameron Mitchell when I was in my street clothes. But I did thank him for the film that he made. But I was like, I can't wait to get a picture of him in this astronaut outfit. So we go outside, and there's nowhere to get dressed. I mean, we're in the International Village, which is right on the beach, right on the Mediterranean. And so we literally just have to change outside of the party. And there's people still coming in, people still arriving. Excuse me. Our changing room is outside the party. And we start to get these outfits out. And the most noticeable thing about them is the helmets. When you put the helmet on, everyone knows that something's going to go down. The outfit is just kind of whatever. And we put on these clown shoes. And before we even get dressed, people are coming up to us like, oh my gosh, like, what are you guys doing? What's going on tonight? And people start asking to take pictures with us. And that never, ever, 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 ever has happened to me. So all of a sudden we're like standing up, and all these people, they think that we're this like circus act, like showing up to the party about to wreck some shit. And so from the very second we walk in, we're in these obnoxious giant fishbowl helmets. We cannot walk into the party because we're bouncing from person to person who wants to take a picture with us. But all we want to do is get a drink and just go have fun. So we're taking picture after picture. And all of a sudden we start to see our friends who are working the internships with us. And some of them had no clue that this was our job, because there was a myriad of jobs that everyone was doing. And we were all doing our own things during the week. So anyway, this party we also found out was supposed to be the kind of launch party for We Need to Talk About Kevin, which has John C. Reilly and Tilda Swinton and Ezra Miller in it. And people were really, really affected by this film. So anyway, that's kind of the scene and the setting. So the first person I want to go see is John Cameron Mitchell, and he's a shyer guy. You know, like I spoke to him subsequent times afterwards, and he's really amazing. But he's not out there. He's not crazy. He's not loud. He was just chilling, doing his thing, DJing his party. And I go up to him and I beg him for a picture, and he very hesitantly agrees. But that's really all I came for. But people cannot get over the fact that we showed up in these astronaut outfits. And I thought, the queer party, like I thought stuff was going to go down. I just watching Short Bus, like a small part of me thought that an orgy was going to bust out before the end of the night. Like I didn't know it was going to happen. So all of a sudden they're giving us drinks. And I was trying to network at the same time, but my business cards were in my back pocket of this astronaut outfit, and I could not get to them for the life of me. One of the most ridiculous things, though, this guy comes up to me, and I don't smoke cigarettes, but he opened up my visor, put a cigarette in my mouth, lit it while someone else was taking a picture of me, and then closed my visor again. And it's just like, what's happening? Like, what are these people thinking? So we're walking around the party, and all of a sudden, everybody's dancing. And this guy has just got some serious moves. So I go up to him, and I want to have a dance off, and people just start like cheering. And it was one of the first times where like people form a circle, like form a circle around you and expect you to bust out some moves. And I understand why people are mascots now, because you can act a fool when you're dressed up. And anyway, so we had this dance contest, and at the end, I'd say we were equally matched. I don't know. That was I guess my my not third-party opinion, but that's how I felt. And people, they come up to me after, they're like, "Oh my God, do you know who you were just dancing with?" And I was like, "Who?" They're like, that was Ezra Miller." And I was like, "Who's Ezra Miller?" And they're like, "He's the kid. He's Kevin. We need to talk about Kevin. You just had a dance-off with Kevin." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I was too drunk. I wasn't really going to care. And all of a sudden, I didn't even know John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly is someone that I love, but this serious film, I did not think he would be in it. But he was one of the stars, and all of a sudden, he shows up. And people are freaking out because John C. Reilly is walking around this party. And everyone's walking up to him. He was really reserved. Which I guess I can understand. A lot of people coming up to you constantly, it would be intimidating. People are coming up and asking for pictures, and he just politely declines them. And he's just like, no. And so now all of a sudden, I am faced with the opportunity to meet John C. Reilly. I can't take my costume off, but I also can't walk away. And him being reserved with people who are dressed up nicely, I was like, I'm going to scare the shit out of him, dressed up as his cosmonaut. But I go up to him, and I just do the same thing. I thank him for Talladega Nights. And I'm like, "Sir, your portrayal in Talladega Nights changed my concept of comedy forever." And that's all I remember of the conversation. I was too nervous to say anything else, and I just walk away. And so for the rest of the night, people, they wanted to wear the helmet. They wanted to be in our costumes. They wanted to dance with us. And it was just picture after picture after picture. And it's funny that dressing up in an astronaut outfit eventually would give you more confidence than you just walking through the street. And I had a friend that came up to me, and she was like, "I still can't believe that you danced with Ezra Miller." She was like, "I would kill just to meet him." And I was like, well, said I would kill just to meet him. And I was still on this very drunken astronaut high. And I was like, "Well, let's go do it." And I grabbed her by the hand, and I went around looking for him. And she's like, no, we can't. And I met him outside, and he was leaving. And I went up to him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just want to say, like, really good dance moves. Like, you're going places." Like, I could tell. And he's like, "Hey, not bad yourself." And I was like, "This is my friend. She really wanted to meet you." And I had the chance to bring these two people together. And I just still can't believe it. I don't know. That's just I guess kind of the spirit of the entire festival is you're injected with this confidence that you would never have anywhere else, and it just happens to be around all these people that everyone wishes they could meet. So at the end of the night, my friends were running around with my costume, no stains, thank God. I don't really remember what happened to my partner in crime, the other guy who was wearing the cosmonaut outfit. All I remember is seeing him with a half bottle of vodka as he was leaving the party, and he was gone. But that's just probably the single craziest story when people ask me, how was Cannes, give me something that was interesting that happened to you. And I tell them that I went to John Cameron Mitchell's queer party at the American Pavilion when I was drunk off my ass on the French Riviera at the Cannes Film Festival, met John C. Reilly, and made him laugh. And that's a pretty epic sentence. And that's all that I needed. And it made the whole festival worth it. So that's that.